The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Dan Serrano, Executive Director of AYBL and also of New Mexico Hoops NM. And what a weekend we had.
We had a great weekend.
You know, I think for people that didn't hear about what we did at Dream Style Arena, the pit was first one ever. First one, and basically we had, you know, a basketball tournament. You might want to go more in detail of what it consisted of.
Well, we put together through the efforts of Dream Style Remodeling and Proview and Hoops NM and AYBL, put together the first of what we're calling an annual event for youth basketball.
Semi-annual.
Well, semi-annual, that's correct. And we brought in, I think we had 104 teams that signed up to participate, and we put games on at the pit, not just on the pit floor itself. We used the Davilo Center. We used Del Norte High School, Rio Grande High School, and we had a great weekend of youth basketball, culminating with championship games on the pit floor and broadcast by Proview. The response not only to registering for the tournament was great, but the response after has just been tremendous. Folks had the time of their life, and of course, you know, anybody that has an opportunity to play on the pit floor wants to take advantage of that.
You know, that was what was, you know, was remarkable to me was there was some, you know, games that were lopsided in the scores, and so usually at that point you're usually having people complaining and everything. And it was amazing. They were out there taking their pictures with the, you know, and you know, some of the parents, you know, the kids, their kids scored in the pit. They were, you know, even though they only scored 10 points for the whole game or something like that, they go, oh, my son or my daughter, and that was the other thing too. Is it was both girls and boys. It wasn't just a boys tournament. I think the response with the girls was very instrumental in what our plans for the future with it.
Well, extremely. I was pleasantly surprised with the amount of teams that we had in the girls divisions. Quite frankly, over the past several years, we've had concerns about dwindling numbers of participation with girls teams. We've talked about losing girls to volleyball and to soccer and other things. But this weekend, great response, probably one of the largest girls tournaments that I've seen in years as far as participation between the 5th and 8th grade, which is great. It makes me pleased and surprised that we're starting to see an uptick in participation with young girls. So I'm hoping it carries over into the next AYBL season and we start to build upon it and grow the girls' numbers. And what's important about that is we're growing those numbers so that the mid-school girls teams and the high school girls teams will have their numbers available to be able to keep their teams in place and be competitive.
Well, it was also, I'm going to say the word a hybrid or a first too, with using a trade show of Dream Style, using a trade show for the top concourse had 70 vendors. That people could come around and show their what they do in the community, anywhere from roofing to plumbing to jacuzzis. I mean, we just went around. Even there was some chairs for health chairs and massage things. So it was actually nice for people that, you know, they got to pay $5 and they got to see the tournament also they also got to see what's going on in the community with the vendors.
Right. And, in talking to some of the vendors as we were out there throughout the weekend, they were pleased by some of the folks that probably traditionally don't go to a home show, but came out to watch their son or daughter play and then made the rounds on the concourse. The trade show is great. Larry Chavez has been great to work with respect to having us tie into the home show and do some things. I thought overall, for the first one, it was a very, very good tournament. Obviously, there's always room for improvement. We found some areas that we need to work on. We dealt with the numerous complaints that folks have. Mainly, there's not enough seating in the Davilo Center. There's too much seating in the pit, but that's the trade-off you have. We're trying to give this experience to the youngsters to be able to come in and play. And at the end of the day, it's all about them anyway.
Well, even going back to the beginning, I mean, this was a lot of people. This has been a 5-month planning, right. And it was the first, and we were all excited. But in the beginning, the Davos wasn't even in the picture. Okay, that was something that working with Ed Moslauers and the University of New Mexico and compliance, that we kind of worked that in over the last 3 or 4 weeks before we even knew that we could use it.
Well, and we did, and we had some challenges to overcome with the use of the facility. We had Coach Rear and Coach Bradbury, unbeknownst to us, having recruits coming in, and they had workouts and some scrimmages and some things that they had planned. We worked with them. They were gracious enough to be patient with us. We made some adjustments to the schedule, and we made things work. And I think at the end of the day, what's really great, and this is some of the feedback I got, was that these facilities, which are known nationwide, I mean, the pit has a reputation of its own, but these facilities, public facilities, at this juncture, with all that's going on with the university and Lobo Athletics, folks are coming out and they're saying, our tax dollars provide these great facilities, and we're being afforded an opportunity to come back and participate in them. So I thought it was a win-win situation, not just for Dreamstyle and for youth basketball, but I think the University of New Mexico fared very well with the response.
Goodwill.
Of folks.
The word
Well, that's a good word. Goodwills that they showed to the public, and I think as we move forward in doing more of these type of venues and events, that the public's going to continue to go fond of what the university is going to do for them.
Well, Dan, we're going to go to the Dreamstyle top 10 plays of the week, and then come back and talk. We're going to actually see some of the teams that played it. We have some little breakdown. Josh did a good job of breaking down the 4 teams that got to play in the finals on Sunday.
That Salazar is going to put up a 3.
I'll tell you what, all weekend, great inside the big boy, yes.
How about that from Nelson? Get it up on top to Wilson. He's going to shoot from way downtown and hit it. How about it? And the back dribble. That's he puts it up for 2. Sotelo back out, 3-point bucket on the way, off the glass with a sweet kiss. Cerro with it, it's stolen away. There goes young Mr. Chino to the basket for 2. With it, almost lost it, got it back. Left side to Tori Beal. She fires it for 3. Another turnover, and here come the ladies in yellow again. Right hand layup up and in. Good by Ayana Toledo.
Robinson tries to put up a shot and has it blocked. Lady Pirates in transition. Ahead to Rougemont, layups up and it's good. 2 so far. Monet Silva, nice move by Silva. Stops and scores beautifully off the glass. Nice move by Bresquez. Good pass. Layups up and it's good. Nice move by Jackson. Attacks the rim, lays it up nicely. He liked it, but we just couldn't cover everybody. Steele, layups up and it's good.
Yeah, there they go.
Jaden Ward, and here they come, coach. Another offensive rebound by Muniz. He'll put it up and score, and he's fouled. Good move by Bresquez. Nice pass to Garcia. Reverse layups up and it's good. Chemistry between them. Reverse layup on the other end. That's nicely done. Wildcats in a one-on-one, I believe. Oh, Steele layup is up, and it's good. Charlie in the front court being double-teamed, nearly throws it away. Cotachino's layup's up, and it's good. By Maez of the Select Heat. Good move by Maez. Scores beautifully with the left hand. That's ahead to Shantea Begay. Begay spinning and scoring beautifully.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We got Dan Serrano, Executive Director of AYBL and also New Mexico Hoops NM. And, again, great weekend. A lot of work, I know, but it was kind of fun work. It was intriguing to see all the moving parts get together. And this is your first with working with Dreamstyle and Larry Chavez. It's my second working with Larry, and then the first one we didn't have any events, and the main thing is I want to tell you is Larry was very pleased with the outcome, and that's the most important thing. With all this being said, but we got some highlights, just of some of the teams that have. That won, and Josh if you'll just start rolling those, and the first game was Albuquerque Bulldogs and Purple Pride. Little story right there, huh?
Well, a little story there. My daughter plays on the Little Bulldogs. It's coached by Vic Garcia, who's a assistant coach at Albuquerque High with myself, and my son Devin is assistant coach in that little team. They played the Santa Rosa team, which is.
They had to beat a team that hadn't beat to get in there, but that was probably their big win was more of that game.
Well, that was a great game. That semifinal game they had in Davila Center was great, and they got to the championship game, and it was good. This is New Mexico Evolution winning.
New Mexico Magic was in the finals with it.
New Mexico Magic was there, Northern team. This is Lady Pirates. You had Coach Sanchez from Grants, who was the high school coach there. He's been working a program there. It's been great. He had a lot of teams in the tournament. The Lady Wildcats came in and played New Mexico Select Heat, and that was a great game. 3-point difference there. Lady Wildcats, another good program. I think they had 3 teams in the tournament, but it was a great event. And what I should emphasize, or at least note anyway, is that we had teams from all parts of the state.
I was going to bring that up. That's what I was impressed with. It was Espanola was there, Santa Rosa, and they were just ecstatic.
We had girls from Hobbs. We had teams from down south. We had. We had a Four Corners team, I think, and we just had some great participation. I think there was a team out of Clovis that came. Just great participation, and it was great, and primarily driven by the fact that they had an opportunity to play in the pit. And that's just huge with the kids right now.
Over the weekend, it was 26 games at the pit. I mean, that was starting Friday at 5 o'clock, and then starting Saturday at 8 o'clock, and then starting Sunday. Saturday was a big day. It went all the way to 10 o'clock that night, and then it almost kind of reminded me of the state basketball tournament I had. And in some ways, it had the same atmosphere, too, because the people were just so excited to be there. And I think that, you and I are basketball, fanatics, but the excitement of the people and sportsmanship was at a high level. It seemed like to me of going at this tournament. I mean, there was a few things here and there, but I'm just saying overall there was no mishaps in this whole tournament.
No, I mean, and that pleased me because we're starting to see a pattern.
I know you're big on sportsmanship.
Right.
You're big on doing the right thing for the kids doing it, and it was the kids were. I'm just telling you what I saw. That everybody came in their uniforms. There wasn't any, any. It was done first class.
It was, and going back, we're starting to see the pattern of sportsmanship and respect and integrity and just basic courtesy and decency that we emphasize in our program because we want to maintain the fact that successes aren't going to be measured only on the scoreboard. And so the kids are coming out and playing. They're having a good time, win or lose. They're all competitive games. They want to win, but they understand that not everyone can win, and that if you don't win, you come back the next day. There's another day, the sun will come up and you'll go back at it. And at this age, at the youth age, we want to keep them engaged and want them to continue to keep coming back, working hard, improving on their game, and have an opportunity to eventually, when they're in high school, get to the pit and play for that true blue trophy for your school.
Well, and it showed up again, and character counts, and that's really what I saw, and it was, like I said, it got a little intense with the championship games, which it always does, but for it was really, I tell you what, because you always hear about parents and things being out of control and everything. I tell you, they were all on their best behavior or whatever, but it was just seemed like, I think they were just all in awe of just that, people got to sit in the front row seats, they got to sit in the chair backs, and they were down low, and they got to really, and it's Dream Style, the pit, Dream Style of the arena of the pit really makes it all work, the dream of being able to be a future Lobo. I mean, it just all seems to fit. Everybody dreams about. Well, now you're getting to feel part of it, and that gives. We'll see how big of an impact. We'll have these films archived, and we have them, and let's see which future Lobo makes it out of what we do. I think that's going to be exciting for you and I to see that. Hey, that was their motivation to be able to play for Coach Weir in the next 3 or 4 to 5 years.
And I think that's a huge point, Steve. The kids were happy to be able to look up and see the use of the scoreboard, to be able to see.
And we announced. That was something that was unique for that. But on the first, let's just go the first 20 games. Well, actually, first 18 games we just had the PA, and then on Sunday we had announcers. We had Proview was there. We went from 8 o'clock in the morning all the way to 12, and we had we streamed it, and we're getting more and more views on the stream. So it's still working.
Well, and you had it on both ends on the big screens, so the experience was great. We had nothing but positive comments about the tournament and the experience and what we put together. I was telling you off camera earlier that yesterday I'm still getting a ton of emails and calls wondering when's the next one. Sign me up, reserve a spot for us right now, and it's only going to grow, which I think is going to be a good thing. And I think with the efforts of Proview and Larry Chavez and Dream Style and what we're doing, the university, we're going to continue to create that collaborative partnership that's real positive with what we're trying to do with youth sports in our community.
Well, now we're going to come back and we're going to actually kind of talk about, we're going to talk more about the future or what our plans are. And I know we're going to have a big meeting here with Larry Chavez this week, and maybe we can't really go into detail, but I know that he's got some great ideas. I know you have, from this experience, this tournament, so we're going to come back and talk about what the future is entitled for this, the next one.
Hoops NM Basketball Center is coming soon. 10 full courts broken into 2 wings for ultimate basketball and volleyball play. Locker rooms, a lounge area, a pro shop, and a full snack bar will all be a part of a great experience. Convenient parking and access will make the Hoops NM Basketball Center a premier facility for league play and competitive regional tournaments. With over 9,000 square feet, Hoops NM Basketball Center will take court sports play to another level in our community. Courts are regulation high school size with wood floors and seating for approximately 350 per court. Major sponsors and supporters are being assembled now. If you're interested, contact Dan Serrano at 505-249-7994. Send him an email, hoopsnm@aol.com. That's hoopsnm@aol.com. Hoops NM Basketball Center, a premier sports facility serving our community.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We got Dan Serrano, Executive Director of AYBL and also Executive Director of New Mexico Hoops NM. And, well, we got through the first weekend, and, it was, you and I are both athletes. We're competitive, and I know there's some things we can tweak and do a little bit better, but overall it was a success. And here's the nice thing about it. We get it twice a year, and I know we don't know those dates yet, but we can tell people it's going to be either in late September or in October. We can definitely say that, and we'll keep you informed on that in the future.
Well, we do. Our hope is to probably lead into our preseason AYBL tournaments that we've been doing over the years, maybe combining those to one and doing it like we did this past weekend. We're obviously going to go out there and continue to deal with the challenges we've had in AYBL and making sure that we have an adequate supply of facilities to be able to.
And that was, I want to stop you right there a little bit down. I mean, but this really helps AYBL for some of the concerns that are happening. And people, kind of go, if you saw that New Mexico Hoops, that the drawing and the architect of that really stabilizes that in our community. If we can get that, get this building built.
Well, and we're close. We're making progress, not as fast as we'd like, but I think we're
kind of like a turtle, right? We're just going to win that race.
We're going to get there. Yeah. We're about 70% there. We have a great design. We have some great local folks involved, and we work on it every day, and we're getting there. And as I travel around the country, and not only prior to coming up with this design, but looking at other tournaments and stuff, other major communities that have stepped up to create these type of facilities, more on the private end, which is what we're trying to do. But I think we have support this year from the new mayor, and who I've had an opportunity to sit down and talk to, and likes what we're trying to do. And it's tied into economic development, sports economic development, which is nationwide is a multi-billion-dollar a year industry. We need to give our kids an opportunity to participate.
We need to showcase our kids. I think it's more of, give them an opportunity that, that we're a great state, and we have great basketball and great sport. I mean, it's not just a great state. In athletics, we're a great state.
And coupled with that is we're going to showcase our community and our state by having a venue that will attract out-of-town teams. Right now, our local teams, our state teams, have to get on a plane, a bus, or a car to go out of state to these major tournaments. And now we're going to be able to bring those tournaments here and also have league play throughout the year, expand it into other venues. So it's a great concept that we're real close to getting the ground broken and started, and I think it'll be great, not just for youth sports, but for the community as a whole.
Well, it's exciting. I mean, I think this has kind of rejuvenated you because you've been working for the. I mean, we've been working on this project for a long time. I don't want to go into how many years we've been working on it, but it's seeing what happened this weekend. It's just magnitudes how important it is to get a facility that can accommodate all the basketball. And then this arena, this thing about it, it's just not about basketball. It's also volleyball and also wrestling. I mean, there's multiple. It's a multi for sports that don't have facilities to showcase our young athletes.
Exactly. It's a multi-use facility. For basketball, we need it. AYBL going into its 39th season. We've been around. We're going to continue to grow our numbers. We're out there in the community. There's always going to be a new crop of second graders coming up to feed the third grade and the fourth grade on down the line. Basketball is a great sport. This is a basketball state. We want to continue to give opportunities. But our biggest challenge, and we've had other shows on this, is that we lack an adequate supply of facilities. We're losing gyms right now. And we could do another show on all the reasons why, but that's not the point. The point is we need to
let's move forward. Let's get on
and make sure that we don't turn kids away, because if we lose them at this level, it's hard to get them back into something positive. And sports is a positive venue that teaches a lot of life skills and life lessons other than just basketball.
Well, changing the subject, going back to the Dreamstyle Arena, the first Dreamstyle Arena in New Mexico, Hoops NM. See, I'm doing good. I'm
Hoops NM.
Hoops NM, and we want to congratulate Larry Chavez for winning the free throw contest. We had other events going on that day, and we want to make sure that next year we're going to build on that, and that was fun to watch him win his own free throw contest.
It's great, and the gap between good and better is never going to change, and we're going to continue.
Of course, Adam Dill wasn't there. He was out golfing that day, but he was. And Robert Portnoy came up. His back was hurt, so they were not. They didn't want to challenge him in the arena, in the Dreamstyle Arena of the Pit.
Well, he did good. Hopefully, Larry got in after hours and worked on his game a little bit. But
actually, no, it was one of those that he didn't think about it. He got a few practice. He got 5 minutes of practice in, and he was so busy trying to get this show doing so well, he didn't get any practice in.
Well, I told Larry it's just like riding a bike. You don't.
No, he did it. He was on fire on. But. Again, I want to thank you and all your efforts for what you pulled a miracle off for that weekend with all the obstacles that nobody really knows about it, and it doesn't matter. But I just wanted to thank you for the time and effort that you put in, and then also now we have a new relationship with Larry Chavez, and we have some new ideas that we're going to find out. Probably we'll have another show here probably in a couple months or so talking about the next New Mexico Youth Tournament.
Well, and I want to thank you, Steve, and Proview, of course, Larry and Dreamstyle Arena, University of New Mexico, and all the folks that helped us out with AYBL and Hoops NM in putting this tournament on. It was the first one, so we had our challenges. I think we met those challenges and overcame them. And at the end of the day, we put on a very good event, and folks are pleased. And nothing pleased me more than to see the smiles on not just those kids that won the championship games, but all the kids that had an opportunity to play in the pit.
Well, Dan, thanks for coming on, and we'll be back probably in another couple months or so talking about the next one.
Thank you.